One of the things that has squarely on the table for us is the issue of KwaSizaBantu Christian Mission. We had a case here where there were complaints that came through, but triggered by a documentary from one of the media houses. And we've been talking to the complainants who are also victims, and we are saying we're going to continue with discussions with them to try and find an amicable solution. Right now, we are in a conflict situation with the complainants, which is quite unusual for the CRL Rights Commission. We normally try and resolve conflicts. That's why we're established, to resolve conflict. That's why Sipho Mantula is chairing Conflict and Resolution Committee. So we're trying hard to find a way forward for the KwaSizaBantu victims. We're currently in court. They've taken the CRL Rights Commission to court because they're unhappy with certain things that have happened and how they happened. But we're hoping we'll find each other and move on. Both us and the victims will find each other at some point. And then one of the things we're dealing with was the issue of the Phoenix matter, you know, the murders that happened in 2021 when there were problems in Phoenix. We also have that matter that pertains to matters of culture and religion in the area. We're still also negotiating with the victims or the victims' families, people who were murdered there. We need to find closure in that process about some cultural activities. So we're also going to be calling in experts in the cultural sector who are going to be advising us and the community in terms of how to find closure for those families around issues of cleansing, issues of fetching of spirits. So we'll be advised by cultural experts in that particular area. And then at some point, those of you who were here before, we did what we call commercialization of religion and the abuse of people's belief systems. We had a massive investigation about 8 years ago where we went around the country and we're looking at what is the state of the religious sector, especially the Christian sector in the country. That project we're bringing back with a different focus. What we're going to do now, we're going to be implementing the recommendations from that report. If you don't have that report, I'm sure Umbiake can provide you with that report later. The report mainly focused on how we are going to establish a peer review mechanism where senior people in the religious sector will be able to look at how individual religious leaders are behaving. I want to stress that this doesn't affect freedom of religion at all. We're not going to be looking at how people pray, how they worship, whom they pray to. We're only interested in the behavior of the individual who leads that particular church.